Hey everyone, this is Rochelle from Multiple Passive Streams of Income. I haven't made a video since June 30th because HASHFLARE stopped daily Bitcoin payouts because in June, maintenance costs were exceeding payouts. But today, HASHFLARE officially stopped SHA-256 mining, which is Bitcoin. So let's dive into what this actually means. On the screen is the email HASHFLARE sent to advise investors of their actions to cease Bitcoin mining. Now, if we scroll down in the email, HASHFLARE explains payouts have been lower than maintenance fees for 28 consecutive days as of July 18th. And as of today, which is July 20th, they have ceased SHA-256 mining. They refer to clause 5.5 in their terms of service for further clarification. Looking at that clause, I want to emphasize a few things. The last sentence of clause 5.5 states, and I quote, "If during the suspension period, the contract-related mining factors change favorably, making mining profitable again, the service will be unsuspended and contracts reactivated." So, hopefully, Bitcoin's price can build upon the recent pump we just had on July 17th, and we can get past this resistance at the 7,400 to 7,500 range. And hopefully, that will then put us into the territory where it will become profitable to mine again, and then HASHFLARE can restart their engines and we can all be happy campers. So that's the first thing I wanted to point out. Now, just to do a little sidetrack here, the recent pump of Bitcoin's prices was a bit of surprise to me because I figured the market would stay stagnant since this is summer and pretty much people go on vacations and they're not really in the market like they would be once the fall starts. And I figured once we got into September, we would see some price action, people would be getting back to work, and that would lead to more volume and also more money coming into the market. Now, interestingly, I saw a YouTube video that predicted that Bitcoin was going to make a move a couple of days before it happened, which was, I think, July 17th when that pump happened. I could be wrong on the dates, but I know it was a few days ago. Now, before it happened, this YouTube video that was made by ALESSIO RASTANI, and I'm going to put the link to that video in the description below, so definitely take a look if you have some time. But I followed this guy for a while now, and he's into technical analysis, and he's pretty much on point most of the time, and he also explains everything clearly. So he will tell you that there's no way for him to tell you a move. There is no way to be able to predict this 100%. But what he does is he tells you the probabilities of the move. And lots of times he's right about the direction of the move. So definitely check him out. Okay, so now let's get back to the HASHFLARE situation. The other item I want to point out in clause 5.5 is the mention of difficulty. Now, as time goes on, the difficulty of Bitcoin increases. So this means it takes more hash power to solve Bitcoin algorithms. And the reward for solving these algorithms also will be decreasing as time goes on. So what this means is that Bitcoin's price is even going to have to be higher for it to be profitable to mine. So just keep that tucked away as we go through this dicey stretch right now. Now, one more thing you may be asking is, can you withdraw your Bitcoin from HASHFLARE? Now, what I did is I tried to withdraw 0.01 Bitcoin today, and it did take. So obviously that 0.5 minimum that they used to have, that obviously isn't a criteria anymore. And as of today, the 0.01 Bitcoin, I was able to withdraw it. So I was wondering in my mind, how many people are going to now try to withdraw their Bitcoin because of this notice by HashFlare. Now, lastly, in the email, I quote, it states, they hope to be able to offer us new advantageous solutions when the market stabilizes. I really hope HashFlare gives great incentives to those who invested and have time left in their contracts when Bitcoin's price becomes profitable to mine. And most importantly, I hope HashFlare can stay afloat without Bitcoin mining profitability, so that when it does become profitable, they're still solvent to be able to mine. So again, I hope I've answered some of the questions that you may have had once you receive this email. Now, of course, I wish Bitcoin never fell to the lows, and I definitely wish that it didn't stay so low for such a prolonged time. But in the midst of this not so good time in the market, it has allowed me to create a HODL basket at discounted prices. So I'm HODLing small amounts of Funfair, Stellar Lumens, Amizigo, Ripple XRP, Salt, EOS, Basic Attention Token, also known as BAT, Neo Gas, Litecoin, Cardano, Binance Coin, and Golem. Now, last month I started charting each of these coins' position on CoinMarketCap.com, which ranks a coin's position by its market cap. As you can see, of the 5 coins that Coinbase put out that they were going to add, they're thinking about adding them. They named Stellar, Cardano, BAT, Zcash, and 0x. And I own Stellar, Cardano, and BAT. Stellar moved from position 7 last month to 6. BAT moved from position 50 last month to 42. And Cardano remains in the 8th spot. So obviously those coins were affected by Coinbase's move, because if you look at the other coins in my basket, some of them remained at the same position, and more than enough slipped down in position. Now, while I was charting these position changes, I noticed TEZOS, TEZOS, and I never noticed this coin before. So let's talk briefly about why this coin is in the top 20. Now, from what I can gather, TEZOS improves upon Ethereum. Ethereum has had its share of hiccups. In fact, one of those hiccups created Ethereum Classic. Now, from my limited knowledge, some Ethereum was hacked, and Ethereum decided to create a hard fork to neutralize the hack. Some people didn't believe that Ethereum should do a hard fork. So they basically created Ethereum Classic because they disagreed. So what TEZOS does, and what it's promising, is what they called a self-amending ledger. And this supposedly eliminates the need for hard forks. It also promises self-governance, which means major holders of TEZOS will vote on future decisions of the coin, and TEZOS allows smart contracts to be tested before they are actually implemented, so this will also eliminate mistakes. So again, TEZOS seems to have looked at Ethereum's vulnerabilities, and if their promise becomes true, they will be able to make a better Ethereum. Now, even though TEZOS has all of those promising potentials going on, TEZOS has had drama in the past. When it raised ICO money, They created a foundation to watch the money. And one of the board members was a gentleman named Johan Gevers, Gevers. Early people questioned the foundation's control, and the TEZOS community exposed Mr. Gevers' failed track record. So he had a lot of situations where he started and was not able to finish. Subsequently, new board members were added to the T2 Foundation, and they now have oversight over TEZOS money. So if you want to learn more about TEZOS, there's a pretty good review created by Crypto Live Leak. I'll add the video link to the description below, and I have added TEZOS to my watch list because it does have some interesting improvements if they can deliver. Quickly, let me recap where I am with HashFlare. So as of today, the day of the stoppage, I'm in a year-long contract mining 33.5 terahash. And as you can see on the screen, I purchased 22 of those terahash in December of 2017 for $3,150. In April, I reinvested 0.085 Bitcoin, and that was Bitcoin that I had earned from mining, so I didn't take any additional money out of my pocket, and I purchased an additional 12.5 terahash. Now, it's been approximately 7.5 months of mining, and I've earned 0.205 Bitcoin. And that amount exceeds the amount that I could have purchased on December 12th of 2017 had I decided to just buy Bitcoin outright versus deciding to mine Bitcoin with HashFlare. So these are the stats of my HashFlare account until Bitcoin's price becomes profitable enough for HashFlare to fire up the engines again. In the meantime, I continue to purchase altcoins to HODL, as I believe many of these coins will grow in time. This is a young market which will mature in time, and I'm hoping that my HODLing will create a nice nest egg. And I think investors who get in early and have patience to wait for the market to become less speculative and for the projects to mature into their utility will probably do pretty good entering the market now. Just my opinion. Again, I have no financial expertise, just an opinion. Lastly, I've been continuing my journey to try to do print on demand again, multiple passive streams of income. And I've been continuing to learn and to test out different techniques. So I learned a print on demand technique from a YouTuber named Nate Andres. And what his technique showed me was he uses Facebook PPE ads to test designs. You run the PPE ads for a day to determine which designs receive interest and determine which ones you should move forward and actually run a conversion ad for. So I tested 3 designs, and the PPE showed me that 2 designs were liked more by Facebook users. So I then set up a Facebook conversion ad to try to get some sales from these 2 shirt designs. Of course, Facebook doesn't approve the ad campaign because it deals with cryptocurrency. Now, in the past, when I did a t-shirt Facebook ad, I would just appeal it because initially a bot is looking through the ads and it sees cryptocurrency and just automatically denies it. And then I would appeal it, and then a human would look at it and approve it. But this time, it was not approved. So I'm not sure if things changed in the Facebook policy or if, I don't know, the human that's looking at it doesn't understand the Facebook policy. And of course, Facebook isn't the easiest platform to contact and get answers from. So I will be spending time trying to figure that out. Okay? In the meantime, I'm trying to teach myself how to do Google and Bing AdWord campaigns, how to optimize them, as well as Google and Bing placement ads. I also have added a Facebook dynamic ad. So what that does is it retargets customers who add to the cart but they don't purchase. And I also added an abandoned cart email sequence which does the same. So I hope that will help once I start to get traffic to the site. I also will be trying Instagram influencers again because I do already know that they send traffic to the site. In fact, I was able to drive 600 plus visitors the last time I used three Instagram influencers. But I didn't get any sales from it. So I'm hoping if the market, or I shouldn't say if, but when the market gets hot again and all of these improvements will lead to sales, hopefully, because they're in place. And weirdly today, my store price-pop.com had 26 visitors and I didn't have any ads running, so I have no idea what triggered these visits. Now, unfortunately, there were no sales from the visits, but I am always grateful for visitors and the possibility of getting sales. So we covered a lot in today's video, but most importantly, let's hope that Bitcoin's price can continue to climb so we can get into that mining profitable range to start. And of course, new highs in 2018. In the meantime, while the market is down, think about taking advantage of these discounted prices for altcoins. Again, this is a long-term HODL strategy. And for me, I just believe the market is young and promising, and many of these coins are going to be worth a whole lot more years later. So if you can be patient, I think there's a good chance that this could be a really good investment. Please share this video if you feel the content would be useful to others, and definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell to be alerted when I upload new content. Again, this is the Multiple Passive Streams of Income channel. As always, thanks for listening. Take care of yourself as well as others. Take care.